one would be kill your ego. And actually, I had a chat with another young product manager recently, and I would advise him the same thing. What it means that you are creating product for other people, not for yourself. So if you like a product, it doesn't mean that other people are going to like it. You always have to think about from other people's perspective. And also, it's not your baby, end of the day. It's a company's, and actually it's going to become baby of the customers. You want to make sure that the product what you develop is the consumers are going to use it, are going to look at it as their baby. And you should have them to, have to create products which they're going to like. So for me, that would be number one. Kill ego. It's not your product. It's not developing for yourself. Otherwise, you are going to end up developing companies, services, products for yourself. Actually, it's very simple. You just ask other people advice. You ask, am I right? What do you think about it? And ask, let's say, 2 or 3 more people. Probably not your colleagues. For example, user-centered design really helped me to understand, how to think from user's perspective. It's easy. You just walk to the street, you stop someone who you don't know and ask a question. Very simple. And then you get another person's perspective. You can do user surveys. You can do user testing. You can do. You can even ask your mother, about her opinion on certain stuff. I mean, it might not be relevant, but actually, it makes you think that there are also other people, not just you. And if you make this first step, if you ask yourself, okay, I made a decision, but have I got any feedback from other people? And if you say no, then probably you should do something about that. If you say yes, then you are on the right path, and you try to think not just from your perspective, but from others' perspective as well. I still think that he didn't develop it himself. He didn't develop, Apple and iPhone himself. He had a team. He got feedback from the team as well. There are people who are challenging him. There were people who actually he went for ask advice, not like what should I do, but how do you like this product? I don't think they haven't done any user testing with their products. They have done a lot, so you can do it certain different way. It wasn't like Steve Jobs woke up one morning and iPhone was created from his mind. He got to the stage where he learned what customers want, and actually one of his strength was that he could influence people with the product and design. So even if he would create a completely different technology, it would be created such a way that people would start using it because the design of this product, it was so influential. I always say there are 2 types of product management. One is when you develop products for your current customers or for your future trends. For example, you know that people are going to use more mobile in the future, so you create mobile platforms, and it's going to happen anyway. Another one is when you create a trend and you create a product or service that actually made people to change. Who knows, someone might come up with technology and people would move from TV to that technology. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's another type of product approach. At the same time, if you look at Steve Jobs, he had so much experience in product design and development. He knew what makes people what triggers people. So he wasn't developing a product for himself. He was developing a product for the customers. So I don't think he was a kind of egoist in terms of he wanted to make sure that the product is going to do best. But at the end of the day, he was developing a product for other people. So I don't think product-wise he had ego.